Shalom, shalom. Before we begin the lesson, all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and teachers of Great Millstone for teaching me this 100% truth about our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, and the true reason why he's coming back, which is to save the elect remnant of the house of Israel from their enemies and those that hate them, and to take over the earth and universe, which was given to him by the mighty, mighty Yahweh himself, the Ancient of Days, wherein our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, will establish righteousness throughout the whole earth and universe forever under the kingdom of the heaven of the Israelites. Shalom, Akim and Akwaf. We one day closer to the kingdom. So brother Hadab Yarbad, or just Hadab, back with a quick lesson on the wiles of the devil and why they got a open tab with the Lord for their iniquities, because their iniquities have reached the heavens. But shit, they keep running it up. So let's get more. Let's expose more wicked activities of the so-called modern-day white man, who is Esau Edom, or the Idumeans in the Holy Scriptures. Let me get this copyright disclaimer out the way because I might play a clip. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips to balance in favor of fair use. Fair use is in full effect. This is for educational, news reporting, teaching, and research only. This is not for profit. Educational purposes, news reporting, and teaching only. Nah. Let's get the first article. We've been telling y'all, these devils, all they do, what's that, John 10:10? The thief come up but to kill, steal, and destroy. But let's look at some of these after effects. We're going to come back to this article. Well, matter of fact, we're going to get this first. Look at this. Deadly Philippine quake turns seabed into shore. I just read a little bit. Arsenio Butel Jr. fell to his knees and began to pray when last week's deadly 7.8 magnitude earthquake began shaking his home on the coast of the southern Philippines. I wonder what name he was calling on, right? Because we have been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, so it's Israelites over in the Philippines. I wonder if he called on the name of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai or JC. You know who JC is. A made-up guy by who the Edomites. When he opened his eyes, he saw a once familiar shoreline changing in real time with swaths of previously submerged coral suddenly pushing above the waterline. The June 8th quake, driven by a shifting of the nearby Cotabato Trench, toppled buildings, triggered landslides, and killed at least 76 people on the southern island of Mindanao. The tectonic forces at work also thrust chunks of the island's coastline upward in a phenomenon known as coastal uplift, leaving stretches of shoreline unrecognizable to families who have spent their whole lives there. Who did all these things? The Lord. During a visit to the area, AFP saw fishing boats that had once been at the water's edge on the wrong side of a wall of jagged, now dead coral stretching for kilometers in both directions. Butel Jr., a fisherman and pastor living in Sarangani province's Glan, well, he's a pastor. He ain't caught on to the name of the Lord. He's a false prophet. The Lord judged you. What was your God at? What's his name? Arsenio Butel Jr. This nigga named Arsenio. Yeah, he might be an Israelite, but you serving a fake power. Butel Jr., a fisherman and pastor living in Sarangani Province's Guam, told AFP the June 8th quake was the largest that he had ever felt. The people were extremely panicked, he said. I got one thing for that. Was that 2nd Ezra 16 and 21 for all these? Let's just get something. All these things that's taking place on earth, Israel. And y'all still ain't paying attention. Yeah, hold on. Yeah. 2nd Ezra 16 and 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a minute, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor always be mindful of the scourges. And the only ones that can repent from sinning is who? Members of the 12 tribes of Israel. But let's go back. Because this is what I want to get to. I tried to find this article that match up with this. But hold on. Oh, look at that. Dang, hold on. We'll get to that. I'm trying to find. I just had it. She like it, Israel. Matter of fact, let me see something. Nah, I just had it up. Something going down, Israel. Hold up. We had a tornado. Caused 2 deaths on what's the day? Monday. Caused 2 deaths yesterday. I just showed a little headline. 2 people were killed Sunday afternoon when a tornado touched down in rural Jefferson County, Illinois, as part of a day of active weather across the region. Jefferson County in Missouri. And it hit down and touched down in Illinois, too. Shortly after 5 p.m., the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office said it began receiving multiple 911 calls reporting home damage, downed trees and power lines, and missing persons. According to the Sheriff's Office, the Illinois State Department, Mount Vernon Police Department, Mount Vernon Fire Department, Jefferson County Fire Department, Fire Protection District, Waltonville Fire Department, Woodline Fire Department, Lytton Ambulance, and United Medical Response each sent personnel to help with search and rescue efforts in the area, but they couldn't save nobody. They got a whole list of motherfuckers that showed up, and guess what? They could not stop what the Lord have caused to happen, what the Lord have purpose. But this ain't what I want. I want the article with Amron UE. Anywho, let me get this. Cause I can't find it, Israel. I just had it. I just had to pull it up. Because Amron UE is doing something with their coal plants. I'm going to type it back in. But let's look at this. This is the article I was trying to find. I don't have the article, but I got the meaning right here, the purpose. The Trump administration has actively rolled back federal environmental rules for the coal industry. Key actions include granting sweeping 2-year exemptions from the EPA's mercury and air toxic standards, METS, proposing to relax wastewater discharge requirements for toxins like arsenic and mercury, and easing restrictions on coal ash disposal. Specific details of these deregulatory efforts and federal support include pollution standards relief. The EPA's move to axe toxic wastewater requirements allows coal plants to discharge higher levels of pollutants into lakes and rivers. Similarly, the 2-year max exemption enables older plants to bypass more stringent limits on toxic metal emissions. They pollute the air with the chemtrails. We got forever plastics in the air, right? They got the little wildfires going on in Utah. And during wildfire season, they use a substance that fucks up the environment also. I did a lesson on it last year, maybe 2 years ago. Financial bailouts and subsidies. The administration doled out roughly $700 million through emergency wartime powers and the Defense Production Act to support existing coal plants and fund new ones in Alaska and West Virginia. Now, ain't it amazing how a country that's $39 trillion in debt always still doling out money? They had $700 million took somewhere, right? Grid operations extensions. The Department of Energy has intervened with emergency orders requiring certain coal and fossil fuel plants in states like Michigan, Indiana, Colorado, Washington, Maryland, and Pennsylvania to operate past their scheduled retirement dates. Which is going to do what? Further fuck up the environment. Let me see something. Ameren UE. Coal plant. Shut down. They shut down one of their coal plants and increased. That shit increased the there it is. Yeah. This ain't the article, but I'm gonna read this. Ameren, Missouri. That's who provides electricity in shit. St. Louis and the surrounding areas, right? Ameren, Missouri permanently shut down its 1,178 megawatt Rush Island Energy Center in October 2024. The utility opted to retire the Jefferson County, which is in southern Missouri, coal plant early, going down Highway 55, rather than spend millions on court-ordered pollution controls mandated after federal judges found the facility in violation of the Clean Air Act. Clean Air Settlement. Recent updates and site redevelopment. Clean Air Settlement. Following the plant's closure, Ameren agreed to get to a $61 million settlement for operating in violation of the Clean Air Act, which includes funding for community air filters and electric school bus conversions in the St. Louis area. Site repowerment. The Missouri Public Service Commission unanimously approved Ameren's Big Hollow proposal to build a natural gas power plant and battery energy storage system on the site of the former Rush Island plant to maintain regional grid reliability. This replacement project is expected to be operational in 2028, so that's the next 2 years. Community impacts. The closure has drawn scrutiny from several Missouri municipalities, including Fulton, Marceline, New Madrid, Hannibal, and Kirkwood. Now, New Madrid is down 55 south like you're going toward Memphis. And Kirkwood is out 44 like you're going toward Springfield, Missouri. So that's a vast area, which filed complaints with state regulators citing drastically higher power bills following the plant's retirement. Public disclosures. Discussions on platforms like Reddit reveal a consensus among young users who are frustrated that the financial burdens of early decommissioning and compliance violations are often passed on to utility customers. So their bills went up and their health is in danger. This ain't the article I'm looking for. I sure had it. Let me see something. Nah. That's it. Let's go back. I can't believe I can't find this motherfucker. Look at this title. American youth radicalized online, busted in suspected terror plot. That was a false flag. Hey, they got the kissing bug disease, the chaga. They give you, what they call it, chaga. So not only do the ticks, you got to worry about the ticks, the flies, and the mosquitoes. Now you got to worry about Chagas disease because it's in America. The pestilence is spreading. Let me see something. Shalaki Israel. I'm trying to see if I can find that. I know what you do. Let me do it like this. Hold on. Let me see if it'll come up. To get them data centers. Look at this. They finna go back to the Dust Bowl. The Lord is hitting this earth with a drought. I'm trying to find that article they bought, the Emory we put up. Because they saying it's all kind of health problems coming from these coal plants. And now they want to let the toxic chemicals from the coal plants into the rivers. But yet, y'all still think this is a good place to live in. And you don't wonder why the Lord finna take it out and shut it down. That's the purpose of this lesson. I don't see it. Yeah, they did something, Israel. They took it down. It's like, let's go back to this. It's most shameful spewing on the glory of Esau, Edom. And you're going to see why the Lord got to take these people up out the power seat. Look at that. More people finna get laid off. No work in Egypt. GM replaces more than 1,000 workers with 50 robots at a flagship Detroit plant. They say they disgusted. But they ain't finna do nothing about it. Heat, wind, and drought spark wildfires in the West. Yeah, it's going down. Now, ain't this nothing? Not only in Utah, they got a wildfire problem, but they still have a problem with the data center they want to build, right? Extreme heat and dry, windy conditions fueled several wildfires in the West on Sunday, including an uncontained blaze in Utah that forced the evacuation of a small town southwest of Salt Lake City. Let's get it precept right quick. They go to Jeremiah 50. Prophecy against Babylon. If you don't know by now, America is Babylon the Great. Right? They trying to build all these data centers. Lord finna fuck all that up. Let me get down there. I just read 2. Declare ye, Jeremiah 50 and 2. Declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard. Publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken. Baal is confounded. That's one of they fake ass deities. Merodach is broken in pieces. Fake idol. Her images are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces. You can replace that with AI because the Lord finna fuck that up to them data centers. That's not going to work out for them. Let's jump down to 38. Shalaki. A drought is upon her waters, and they shall be dried up. Where? Anywhere the Lord choose in this wicked-ass land. Babylon the Great, a.k.a. Egypt, through the spirit, a.k.a. Assyria, a.k.a. through the spirit Sodom, right? We already had the controlled kill of the fish at the Navajo, at the, what's the Apache? I just did a lesson on Israel because the Apache and the Navajo Indians. Navajo going through a drought too. I think I got that article. A drought is upon her waters. Lake Mead is diminishing, right? They're gonna need a lot of water to cool down these data centers. They're trying to reroute it. That's gonna lead to a drought. All these little man-made pools and dams that these Edomites have set up, they all finna fail. A drought is upon her waters, and they shall be dried up. For it is the land of graven images, and they are mad upon their idols. Yeah. Let me see. Shalaki Israel. I know it seems like I'm all over the place. There it is right there. My fault. Here it is about the coal plant, right? Missouri cities fought a coal plant over illegal pollution, then watched their power bills soar 191%. And guess what? I just read the DJ easing the restrictions on these coal plants so they can unleash toxic water into the rivers and the lakes. Now, I already read the top part, right? And off the little AI. The dispute has become an example of how fossil fuel pollution can leave communities paying twice. Once with their health and again with their utility and again on their utility bills. Right? I already told you what happened there, right? Fulton, all these counties ain't nowhere near each other either. New Madrid is nowhere near Hannibal, just like Hannibal ain't nowhere near Kirkwood. Right? Why does it matter? Rate spikes can add pressure to already tight budgets. Higher electricity costs can force tougher choices on families, while cities may have less money available for public services, maintenance, and emergency needs. So if a calamity happened, guess who's going? All them little, just like with the tornado, all them little departments showed up. They still weren't able to do shit. The dispute shows how fossil fuel dependence can create a no-win situation for communities. Coal plants can pollute the earth for years, but when the grid remains heavily dependent on them, closing one without enough cleaner replacement power can trigger major price shocks. That's what they telling y'all. Let's get to the health about this. What happened to them? Shalakia. They said something about the health. Shalakia. Here it is. The fossil fuel industry harms people and communities by worsening extreme weather disasters that destroy homes, livelihoods, and local economies, driving air and water pollution linked to asthma, heart disease, cancer, and premature death, and keeping energy costs high for households while corporate profits soar. So not only your health can be worsened by these coal plants, the food is defiled, Ezekiel the 4th chapter. The air defiled, soil defiled because of the chemtrails. And now the water's polluted. It's already been polluted, right? I know several brothers did lessons, because I did some, on the dangers of these chemicals that have been let into the water, right? And then you wonder why the Lord going to cleanse this earth with fire. He's showing you why. Let's go to 2 Peter. This is a quick lesson. Hold on. We'll go to 2 Peter. This is going to be the end all, be all right here, right? Because that's what the Lord going to have to do. These things must be. The coming day of Yahweh, Shalakia, the coming day of the Lord. I'm going to start at 3. Knowing this first, 2 Peter 3:3, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers walking after their own lust. They ain't worried about what these Edomites out here doing. How they destroying the earth, right? How they fucked up the food system that make the people sick. Air quality is terrible. They saying it's toxic air in California because they got a fire going for 6 days at a plant, right? That's got a whole lot of frozen food in it, so I ain't gonna tell them what's gonna happen after that shit unthawed, right? You got the droughts that's going on in the Southwest. Wildfires, it's wildfire season, and it's wildfires in Utah. The Lord dried up the seabed over there in the Philippines after the earthquake. But they still worried about what the men of the Lord saying. We the Hebrew Israelites. The Holy Scriptures are only written for us. It's an instruction book for us to navigate through this wicked-ass world, because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, as you can see. Look at all the destruction that they have caused. But yet, the scoffers, they only focus on what the men of the Lord are saying. This can't be. Not my God. We ain't no Hebrew. Where your proof at? What a proof at that them 48 fakers are the children of the Lord? Y'all don't quit. Shalaki Israel. All these scoffers can do is come against the men of the Lord for preaching the true doctrine of the Holy Scriptures. They're trying to throw more stumbling blocks in front of the house of Israel, while these so-called modern-day white men continue to destroy the earth through his wars, bombing campaigns, creating famines, unleashing pestilence, because them Russians didn't find out about them biochem labs they got over in the Ukraine. And they using how could I say this? They taking these diseases and unleashing them on the people. It's weapons of war, right? So it's biochem war labs. Why do you think the Ebola outbreak over in the diplomatic Republic of Congo is spreading? They got the little flies that's spreading down from the south. It's eating all the livestock flesh. They unleashing what? Millions of flies, mosquitoes in Florida and in California over the next 2 years. But yet, only thing on the scoffer mind, especially of the house of Israel, is trying to tank the scriptures. When we bringing out the truth, sons of perdition that been revealed, no, we still love everybody. That's the Christian thought. What have JC done for us? What has he done for us? Got us to say we love all the other nations while we remain on the bottom and they still prosper? Even the nations that don't even believe in JC, they still on top of us. And that's what y'all gonna go with. And saying this, because this our people to a T. Where's the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. Yeah, these Edomites continue to destroy the earth. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, Job 9:24. But here go the point right here. This is why the Lord gonna have to do this. Because of all the destruction that has been caused by these Idumeans. 2 Peter 3:7. But the heavens and the earth, which are now, by the same word are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. That's the only thing that's going to be able to cleanse it. The air is polluted. The soil is polluted. The water is polluted. But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day. Let me get this right quick. Just moving through the spirit, Israel. Because these Edomites got to go. Romans 9:22. What if the Most High Power, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endure it with much long suffering, the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? That's these Edomites. So-called modern day white man. They've been making these wicked ass moves for so long, they think that they ain't gonna never get took out the power seat. But the Lord is long suffering. And they gonna get they just reward. They gonna pay their tab. They tab been ran up, boy. They got thousands of years of work to pay for. You hear me? And that he may make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared in the glory. That's us, the children of Israel. But y'all don't want to hear the whole message. Y'all don't want to eat the whole roll. Y'all cannot take the bitter with the sweet. That's why y'all want lies told to y'all. These motherfuckers is easing the restrictions on the coal plants, unleashing toxins into the water, and y'all ain't got shit to say. That's okay. The Lord see what's going down. Hey, keep on, put that on his tab. Put that on Esau's tab. Lord finna fuck them up. Let me see something. Let's continue. Because there's other, it be so many articles you get to save, you probably don't even get out to all of them. Let me see. Look at that tick. Look at this. This motherfucker got bit by a tick and now he nonverbal. He can't even speak no more. Yeah. We see about the wind, the drought, that sparked the wildfires in the West. Starlink, not only they using it for internet purposes, they fucking people up too, spying on people. Look at this. Rare Lyme disease causing new spreads. That's like it. Rare Lyme disease causing strange spreads to new state. What to know? All we know is they've been using these insects for bio weaponry purposes, right? And these diseases that they add to and put out on the people. Let me go. Let me see something. That ain't it. It was another one. Oh, here we go, right here. I just seen a lesson from the brother from Kansas City. All the foods that's banned over in Europe that come from America. You can't even eat the oranges. But yet, so-called Jake think they living good right now. Ezekiel 4 is in full effect. You eating your food defiled amongst the heathen. I brought this article out. I just read the title, but we're going to read what happened. Banned in 74 countries. A Parkinson's-linked pesticide still rains down over Texas homes. Source to cool down. That's why the Lord going to have to cleanse the earth with fire. Because the Edomites, they done destroyed it. They done polluted everything, man. Everything. It's lucky. Let's see if I can do it. Dang, I didn't even do it. Motherfucker. In Texas's Rio Grande Valley, the sound of crop dusting aircraft is enough to send some nearby residents inside. Look at that. They spraying it. The neuroscientist, Kelsey Baker, who spoke with Public Health Watch, the worry is not just about the odor of chemicals in the air. It is the growing body of research connecting pesticide exposure to Parkinson's disease. And they spray this on the crops. They want you to eat it. And then you wonder why all these foods banned in Europe. But they got you eating it over here in America. Right? And y'all love this spot. 2/3 of the Israelites, 2/3 of Jake, they love it over here. They love eating food that fuck up their body. They love destroying their temple. It is the growing body of research connecting pesticide exposure to Parkinson's disease. According to the outlet, the concern centers in part on the weed killer, paraquat, that is still used extensively in the United States, even though at least 74 countries have banned it, discontinued it, or otherwise removed it from use. They ain't worried about the air. You see what they finna unleash it to the waters? They been doing that shit, releasing toxins into the river streams and the lakes. The Environmental Protection Agency, which should be shut down, has found that paraquat, which has been linked to Parkinson's, could travel through the air at unsafe levels 20 miles from its initial application, endangering countless people who live near farms. And you wonder why the Lord is finna remove these wicked motherfuckers from out of the power seat. He gave the earth into their hands so the children of Israel could see what wickedness truly is. And guess what? 2/3 adapted quickly. Shit, they have overpassed the wicked in wickedness, roughly paraphrased. They don't care if they got to go outside and breathe toxic ass air or drink toxic ass water or get their food with toxins and pollutants on it that cause cancer, as long as they don't gotta worship the most high power, the almighty Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. They cool with that shit. This some bullshit. This is why the Lord gonna straighten things out. Let's get a couple scriptures and close out this lesson. Hopefully it was edifying. And you wonder why the Lord gonna do what he do. Let's go to Revelation 11. And 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great. And here go the point. And shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Don't no niggas own no coal plants. Ain't no niggas crop dusting. Right? Who doing all this? So-called modern day white man. Here go your niggas line for you. And shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. How we know that? Let's go to the Old Testament. Let's go back to Isaiah 14. Because if they still keep up at this rate, as it is written in the New Testament, won't no flesh be alive. I might pull that up too. Yeah. Isaiah 14:16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee. Who? So-called modern day white man. And consider thee, saying, is this the man? Yeah. That's him. They got that running tab. Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof? Is that not what they doing? Are they not over there clearing out the so-called Middle East? Because they think they finna steal our blessing. You ain't finna get it. That made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof. Right? That's why I say, prepare slaughter. Look, that's why you drop down, prepare slaughter for his children. Verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Why did they do? They ain't been doing nothing but destroy shit. Let's get this. Nahum 3. Woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. The noise of a whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and of the prancing horses and of the jumping chariots. Let me jump down to 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts. They got all these goddamn chemicals they using in the food, in the air, in the soil, and in the water. That set up nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. Behold, I am against thee, saith Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. These other nations, hey man, they starting to turn on America and them 48 fakers. That's why they got shit. Why you think all this shit is banned? All these products that they allow over here is banned in other countries. And y'all think y'all in good case. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee and make thee vile and will set thee as a gazing stock. So like it. Let me see something. This is what I wanted. Right? I still was able to use Nahum 3 and 1 though. But look, I want Nahum 1 and 2. The Most High Power is jealous, and Yahweh revengeth. Yahweh revengeth and is furious. Yahweh will take vengeance on his adversaries. Number one adversary, the so-called modern-day white man, Esau, Edom. And he reserveth wrath for his enemies. And like I just read in Revelation 11, 18, they're going to pay for everything they did, man. Yahweh is slow to anger. That's why I read Romans 9, right? Long-suffering. And in great in power, and will not at all, go to the point, and will not at all acquit the wicked. Who is the wicked? So-called modern-day white man. They lead the lead. They got a running tab with the Lord. Yahweh hath his way in the whirlwind. Tornado just killed 2 people yesterday in my area. And in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. And when you go to Isaiah 29, with earthquake, he didn't push back the shoreline over there in the Philippines. Why? The people from the Philippines, they ain't build them Americans too. He rebuketh the sea and maketh it dry. You heard me? I just read that. And drieth up all the rivers. Bashan languisheth, and Carmel, and the flower of Lebanon languisheth. Yeah. These things are taking place right now. But for all these things, Israel won't repent. The elect is. Now, he want to ease the restrictions on the coal plants. Why? He's been telling y'all. Isaiah 19 and 4, and the Egyptians, which through the spirit is America, will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. And the water shall fail from the sea, and the river shall be wasted and dried up. You keep putting all these chemicals in the water, fucking up the fish. Hold on. Let me see what they did that control kill at. They did a control kill in Arizona on a reservation. Let me see. Now look at this. Drought emergency and largest Native American reservation in the U.S. could create ripple effect. All of a sudden we got drought emergencies. Why they need that water to cool down these data centers they trying to form that they've been making. So if that's the Navajo Nation, that would mean the Apaches is the one who had that fish kill on the shoreline of a lake that's 158 miles. The Navajo National Commission on Emergency Management, the largest Native American reservation in the United States, has officially declared a state of emergency due to severe ongoing drought conditions. Authorities said drought conditions are impacting communities across the Navajo Nation. Let me get some for, because that's one of 12 tribes. Either they Gad, Reuben, right? Let me get some. Shalaki. Ain't a thought just passed me that quick, Israel. Forgive me. Here it is. And it was 2 Peter 2. Shalaki. Shalaki, Israel. Now let me look at it like this. 2 Peter. 1 Peter 4. Yeah. 1 Peter 4:17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High Power. And if it first begin at us, what shall be the end of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High Power? And if the righteous scarcely be saved, what shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? Now, he didn't hit the Lord, didn't allow these Edomites to fuck up the Native Americans, the tribe of Gad and Reuben. So the Apache and the Navajo going through it right now. They're being judged by the Lord. Let's go to Haggai 1. Right? This is the Lord talking to us. This is when he wanted, they supposed to be building the temple. You can read that the account in Ezra, Nehemiah, right? But this is us right now, because we're under the curses. Haggai 1:6. You have sown much and bring in little. You eat, but you have not enough. You drink, but you are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. There's up down. Haggai 1:11. And I call for a drought upon the land, and upon the mountains, and upon the corn, and upon the new wine, and upon the oil, and upon that which the ground bringeth forth, and upon men, and upon cattle, and upon all the labor of the hands. Who did that? The Lord. Who causing these droughts around the world, especially in Babylon the Great? The Lord. Who caused these Edomites, the so-called modern-day white man, to destroy the earth with their witchcraft? The Lord. Why? Let's see. Revelation. Yeah. Revelation 18. I'm going to start at 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye not receive not, that ye receive not of her plagues, because the Lord fucking them up. Just read 2 Ezra 15 chapter. For her sins have reached unto heaven. Yes, you got an open tab. And it's still going. And the Most High Power hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. And that's what the Lord finna do. Everything you have done, every sin, every law you have broke, Esau, Edom. The Lord just been running a tab up on your ass. Just like I just read in Romans the 9th chapter. He letting all your shit build up. Because guess what? You finna get rewarded double. You finna get rewarded double for everything you did. Let's go back and end it on that. Oh, now we're going to end on why the Lord got to cleanse the earth with fire. Now you know why. It said in the scriptures, the Lord going to cleanse this earth with fire. He flooded it with water the first time. Second time, he going to cleanse it with fire. 2 Peter 3:7. But the heavens and the earth, which are now, by the same word are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. That's why. One of the reasons why. I hope you edified Israel. Because guess what? We one day closer to the kingdom. Shalom.